Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about mixing vocals using only Ableton Live devices, and we're going to be sure to go through the intro edition, then standard edition, then suite edition to make sure no matter what version of Ableton you have, this will help you out. Let's check out the tracks that we're going to be working with. The first one we have here is by Lindsay Ollard called Catching Up, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to do a female vocal and a male vocal for each one, just kind of give some variety. Let's take a listen to this one.
Well, I'm just catching up with yesterday, and I don't know what to do. No, oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
That's the first one. First thing I can hear is that there is some bleed, so we're going to be able to take care of that. And then the next one we have is by Ricky Legend from his song Comet. Let's take a listen to that.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through this vast empty darkness, illuminating everything on sight.
Alright, so let's start with the intro version. And to me, the biggest disadvantage of having the intro version is you don't have access to EQ8, which is a really, really good EQ. And then also there just isn't much options for coloration either. Let's take a look and see. We do have the channel EQ though, so this definitely will give us a little bit better control than what the EQ3 does. Honestly, at this point, I would, if you have intro version, there's plenty of free options available to you, so you can just go ahead and look those up. And I will have a video in the future about really good free VSTs as well, so keep around for that. Alright, let's take just a quick listen before we start messing with the EQ.
Well, I'm just catching up with yesterday, and I don't know what to do. No, oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
Alright, I don't think we're going to have to do much with EQ on that, so we should be good. Alright, I think the next thing we should be doing naturally is to put some compression on it. I don't think there's a couple peaks around here that maybe want to get tamed, but I think most of this will barely touch.
Well, I'm just catching up with yesterday, and I don't know what to do. No.
And with vocals, I tend to kind of have a more relaxed attack and release time, 100 to 300, depending on how fast the singing
And
is.
I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
I think that sounds pretty good. Not too much.
Well, I'm just catching up with yesterday,
So a lot of this we're barely.
and I don't know what to do. No.
So we're not really getting much for compression at all up until we get to these loud parts, which is what I'm wanting. All right, and also thankfully, the gate is also included in intro version, so we can take care of some of this bleed. Let's Let's take this threshold way, way down there.
And I don't know what to.
I want it as low as I possibly can without anything kind of sneaking through. But I also don't want to make the vocal sound choppy.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't.
With this return parameter, this is how far below the threshold this signal needs to go before it turns off. So I'm actually going to raise that a little bit, see if that helps kind of let these endings feel a little bit more natural.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I.
It helps a little bit. I'm going to bring up the release. I try to let the return do the work before the release. It kind of gets a little bit better control, in my opinion. So let's bring that up. I don't know. Let's try right around 75. That sounds good. Good starting point.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
All right. There's a couple of these breaths that sound a little unnatural with this gate, and I'm going to show you a little trick I like to do. Let's move this over here for now. We're going to Control X, cut that, freeze this, and then flatten it. Then
Oh, I can't.
now let's bring this up a little bit. Oop, before we get too far, let's put that back.
Oh, I can't shake.
Well, now what we've done is make the gate part of the audio, so we don't have to work with the plugin anymore. And what that does is it makes these parts actually quiet without the gate. And what we can do now is we get rid of a little part there. Let's turn the grid off, and we're gonna kind of round these breaths off a little bit.
Oh,
It makes it sound a lot more natural. We can bring that in, no particular reason.
oh, oh.
So let's take a look, take a listen through, and see what we can fix now.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know.
There's a little bit of a weirdness going on right at the beginning of this, so we're gonna see if we can fix that. Delete a little section so you got something to work with there, and kind of just round it off.
And I don't know what to do.
That sounds a lot better.
And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This
There's another one. It sounds pretty harsh when it ramps up there. See if we can round that off a little bit.
This discontentment in my mind.
I think that sounds really, really good. Now we can take this, select all of it, just hit Control J. Puts it all back into one single file. Let's turn these back on, and what we're actually going to do, now, because since this is all nice and comped now, we're going to take and we're going to steal these, so we don't have to do that multiple times, because we're going to do that regardless. That comping regardless, it sounds good, sounds perfect. All right, so now we have EQ and a compression. So let's start making this sound actually good. First thing I'm going to start out with is the Saturator, which, to be honest, really awesome that comes with intro. I'm going to turn down the output and just start kind of driving it until I'm going to kind of take it to the point where it starts to break apart the voice, and then I'm going to adjust some parameters and then pull it back, just so I know that I have the color that I want.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I'm just catching up with
I think that's sounding good. I'm going to try to get it to match the volume as much as possible so we can really see what it is actually doing.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. Oh, I'm just catching up. Oh, I'm just catching up. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
The effect of it is really, really subtle, but you can tell there's a lot more life to the vocal. Let's see, what else do we have to our dispense? I believe we have the chorus, which they now have in the ensemble, which I think is really good. We're going to kind of do the same thing with Saturator. I'm going to turn the dry wet all the way up so it's really over exaggerated, and then I'm going to tune it out, and then I'm going to bring it back down to a more realistic level, and we'll see what we get with that.
Well, I'm just catching up with yesterday. Oh, 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 I'm just catching up with yesterday.
I think that's sounding pretty good. Let's bring it down.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. Oh, I
find myself always kind of dropping this in that 30 to 40% range if I want a more obvious effect. That way you're not getting too much phase issues, but you're kind of getting that nice slightly wide feeling that the chorus brings.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
And then without.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
Again, it's very subtle, but it's those multiple subtle things all combined together that make a really huge difference. Another plugin that we have at our disposal is the not the frequency shifter, sorry, the phaser flanger, which also has a doubler on it, and I absolutely love this. I'm going to throw this before the saturation, and again, I'm going to bring it down to about 50%, actually 70%, we'll say, and let's mess with this for a minute, and we will kind of do the same thing, have it over exaggerated, mess with it, and then bring it down to a more realistic level.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday, and I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
All right, I'm thinking that sounds good. So let's bring that down. And with these, I try to make the doubler effect really, really subtle.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
All right. I think that sounded pretty good. Now let's give it some space. Now you get access to the regular reverb and also, let's see, the delay. And what we're gonna do Control Alt T, and we're gonna do it twice. We're gonna add 2 send tracks. We're gonna throw the reverb on one, and we're gonna put the delay on the other. And the reason I like to use send tracks is because you don't have to worry about when you put it on the channel, you end up kind of messing with your levels. You kind of lose your dry signal. With a send track, it kind of just brings up the reverb behind it and kind of really makes it a really good, especially for reverb. It just works perfect. You don't lose any of the clarity from the original. So let's take a listen, just with the default settings on reverb. We're gonna bring that up to just so we can really hear it.
Take this feeling. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No.
It honestly doesn't sound that bad. So let's I'm gonna turn it all the way up, and then I'm gonna come over here and just solo out the reverb. I'm also gonna bring this dry wet all the way up. I don't need really any dry signal here.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
I kind of like the shorter delay time, decay time. I think I'm okay with that. Let's turn this up to high, just to get a little better sound quality. I'm gonna do a low cut, get rid of the high cut. Chorus. We're gonna keep that low, but we're gonna bring it up. The rate, we'll keep the rate low. We're gonna bring the amount up. We'll see how that sounds. All the rest of this, I'm gonna defuse, turn up the defuse by 3, and the reflect by 3, and let's see what that sounds like.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
Alright, I might give it, let's go 1.5. Oh, 1.5 seconds, which is 1500 if you type it in.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
Alright, I think that's sounding pretty good. Let's bring this back down. I'm gonna loop a shorter part,
Oh, I'm just catching up.
and let's just bring it back in till it sounds good.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
I am liking that. I think that sounded pretty good. Let's bring this back out. I don't have to mess with it.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling.
Alright, now let's take the delay. And we're going to turn the dry wet all the way up again. I'm going to take the feedback all the way down, though. I don't think I really want a big, huge delay throw on this. Let's bring this up. And we kind of got to listen to both at the same time to really get this one, unlike the reverb.
Yesterday.
And I don't have anything synced to the tempo, so we kind of just got to use our ears on this one.
With yesterday. With yesterday. With yesterday.
I think it sounded pretty
With
good.
yesterday. With yesterday.
I'm liking that. What I like to do on these delay throws is throw some effects on them. So let's try a saturator and a chorus. See what we can do here. So now we can go solo this. Then we're just focusing on the reverbs. The delay sound.
With yesterday, with yesterday, with yesterday, with yesterday.
And the reason we're able to drive that so hard, I have a plus 36 decibels. It's just the signal's so quiet, it's not really going to start really driving that when it's that quiet.
With yesterday.
But with just enough to make a little color. Let's throw the chorus on there.
With yesterday. With yesterday.
And we keep this on the classic. I'm going to turn the rate way down.
With yesterday.
Warmth.
With yesterday.
Little bit of feedback.
With yesterday.
I think I'm.
With yesterday.
I think I'm happy with that. Let's see what it sounds like with the mix.
With yesterday. With yesterday. With yesterday. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling.
Alright, I'm liking that. And a little trick I like to do is throw a compressor on my delays and sidechain it to the vocal.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this.
We're gonna give this a little bit of feedback. I kind of want a little bit more. It kind of ends pretty abruptly, so let's bump that up to 20.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
I'd say that sounds really good for only having the intro version of Ableton. And this is not using any sort of third-party plugins at all. That sounds amazing. So there's really no reason, no excuse to not get a good mix. And there's so many other free plugins available on top of this that you could do whatever. Let's move on to the Ricky Legend vocals, and we're gonna do something pretty similar to this. So we'll kind of almost mimic it a little bit, but we're gonna do things a little bit different. Let's start with the channel EQ. Let's take a look at his vocals.
Please take me far, not looking back.
And there is a lot of low end in that, but we want to keep his vocals nice and full because that's kind of part of the tone. So let's take a listen and kind of bring that back to kind of get rid of the sub bass.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small.
I think that's a good compromise right there. Let's keep that on. Next thing, let's move on to compression. So let's throw the compressor on here. And we're going to just try to tamp down just the peaks, just like the other one.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small.
Again, a longer attack, a longer release. It's not a super fast vocal, so we're want to stretch those out a little bit.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
I think that's sounding perfect. What did we end up putting on after that? The saturator. So let's just hop onto that. Drive and color, saturator, and we'll just do something similar again. We're gonna drive down the output and then bring the drive way up.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
Alright, I'm kind of liking that. Let's see.
Please take me far, not looking.
Let's try to volume match that.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere. Please take me far, not looking back. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small.
I'm liking that. Alright, let's move on to the chorus. And again, all the way up. Let's make some adjustments and bring it back down.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
I'm liking that. Bring in the doubler. I'm going to bring the doubler before the saturator.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
Alright, I'm liking that. Let's bring in the reverb and delay.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back.
Actually, we're gonna bring that. This is something I forgot to change. I added a second send track just for the Ricky Legend vocal, so we're gonna use that.
Please take.
And where it's at right now is an exact copy of the other delay. I'm just switched it up so I can use the sidechain compressor without messing up the other one.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through this vast empty darkness, illuminating everything on sight.
I'd say that's sounding pretty good. As far as having such limited tools in the intro version, I could say you can get a really good sound without having to do too much. Really, simplicity is key, especially with the saturation and distortion. You want to not do it too much, but just a little bit of it really brings out the color of sounds. So let's move on to the standard edition, and a couple notable additions in the standard edition is going to be EQ8, the delay filter, and the overdrive, and the dynamic tube. All four of those we're going to take a look at and how we can implement those if you have the standard edition. We're going to just start off, we're just going to copy over what we have here. and that should be good enough for a starting point. We'll start off with getting rid of the channel EQ and swapping that out for a EQ8. So let's do a little shaping here. We're going to loop this middle part. It's kind of got a good range of dynamics.
And I don't know what to do.
We're gonna scoop out those low ends that we just don't need.
And I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna get rid of a little bit of mids.
And I don't know what to do.
And I'm bringing down those mids not because there's too much mids, but I want to bring out the high end without doing any sort of boosting.
And I don't know what to do. No. And I don't know what.
I think that's going to be good enough. Like I said, this vocals, we don't really have to do much with it. And let's just copy over the delay in reverb here. Minus 33. Just so we can kind of start at the same point here.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
And with this, I'm going to kind of show you guys a little bit more of a colored sound, which may not fit in with the song that this vocal is from, but I kind of want to show you for example's sake. Let's go into driving color, and we're going to take a look at the overdrive and the dynamic tube. Now the dynamic tube is a saturation effect or distortion effect that I usually leave pretty wet. With the overdrive, it's really hard to get a nice sound with vocals on it, but what I find is when I use it with just like anywhere from 2 to 5% wet signal, I can kind of add a little color and make it sound pretty good. So we'll check that out.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday.
Yeah, we'll sort of work off this middle one still.
And I don't know what to do. No. 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 And I don't know what to do.
All right, we're gonna try to volume match that.
And I don't know what to do. And I don't know what to do. And I don't know what to do. No. And I don't.
All right, so let's listen without.
And I don't know what to do. No.
And now let's listen to it with it.
And I don't know what to do. No.
Again, a super subtle difference, but it all comes together. And once we get this on, we'll disable all the coloration and re-enable it, and we'll be able to see combined the difference it can really make. Let's move on to the overdrive. Let's enable this, and like I said, this is a really harsh plugin. I'm actually going to bring in a utility, and drop it after that, just so I don't have to deal with the massive gain that it gives when I'm trying to figure out the sound that I'm looking for. So let's bring this down, bring the drive up.
And I don't know what to do. And I don't know what to do. No. And I don't know what to do. No. And I don't know what to do. And I don't know what to do. No.
All right, I think that sounded good. I'm going to bring this down to 4%, and we'll start there. And we probably won't need the utility anymore.
And I don't know what to do. No. And I don't know what to do.
I'm thinking even less, maybe 2.
And I don't know what to do. No.
All right, I'm liking that. It's kind of got a little bit of grit to it. If in a full mix, that would sound really good.
And I don't know.
Let's take a listen to the whole thing, kind of see what it sounds like.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
All right, that's sounding pretty good. We can take some of this down. Let's bring that down to 50%. Let's take that down to 14, 12. Might have to bring that up a little bit. And let's take a listen.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know.
Brought that down to 1%.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling.
All right, I think it's sounding pretty good. Let's listen to it without all the distortion and saturation. See what that sounds like.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling.
And honestly, that sounds absolutely amazing. And that, from the song that this is from, that honestly would probably work a lot better. But I just wanted to show you this, and I think it sounds really good. And especially given in the right mix, it's going to sound really, really good.
Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontentment in my mind.
All right. Now let's move on to Ricky Legend, and we're going to kind of do the same thing. Let's steal this from them, throw this on there, and we'll just start with the EQ8. Oop. Let's see, EQ. Let's throw the EQ8 on there, and let's start shaping the sound. And let's just grab this portion here, and we'll loop that for now.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
All right, I'm liking that. It sounded good. It's still got a bit of body. Let's actually see if I boost this back up what it sounds like.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
I think that's sounding a little bit better. Let's bring in the drive and color. Let's see, dynamic 2 and overdrive, and we're going to put these before the saturator. No specific reason. I feel like that the saturator really glues sounds together, in my opinion, so I kind of like having that after the other stuff. Let's start again with the dynamic tube and see what we can do.
Please take me far, not looking back. That tiny sphere. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I... Please take me far, not... Please take me far, not looking back. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
So that's sounding pretty good. Let's move on to the overdrive.
Please take...
Ooh, let's grab another utility just for now so we can deal with that.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
I'm bring this down to 4 and get rid of the utility.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
Okay. I think that sounded pretty good.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please.
I'm liking that. Liking that pretty good. So let's give the full take a listen just to make sure there's no anomalies. And
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through this vast empty darkness, illuminating everything on sight. We're shooting stars and it's my...
I'm really liking that. Let's bring the chorus up a little bit, up to 40.
We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through...
Ooh, okay. Let's bring in the reverb. What do we have these set at? Let's just do -19 and -31 and see what that sounds like.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through this vast empty darkness, illuminating. We're shooting stars.
Okay, I think I actually like this a little bit more without the dynamic tube. I think it's just a little too much. And the overdrive is really adding the tone that I actually really think works.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through this vast empty darkness, illuminating everything on sight.
I'd say that sounds really good. So let's move on to the suite version. And I'd have to say, for vocals at least, the only notable additions, extra live devices that are going to help you make a little bit better sound is going to be the echo and the hybrid reverb. So let's take a look at those. And instead of moving everything down, I'm actually just going to delete these last two. and just work off these because I'm not going to change anything on the tracks themselves, just the send tracks. So let's take, let's go back to Lindsay, solo this, actually let's solo the reverb out and just take a quick listen to see what it sounds like right now.
I'm just catching up with yesterday, and I don't know what to do.
Okay, so it's not very loud. Let's in here, hybrid reverb. Let's get rid of the old reverb. Bring the dry wet all up to 100 because we're using a send track. And since we're using a vocal, I am just going for the convolution. I'm just gonna go right to the plates, and I don't yet quite have favorites in this yet, so we're just gonna kind of walk through each of them and take a listen and see what they sound like.
I'm just catching up with yesterday. 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 I'm just catching up with yesterday.
I kind of like that. Let's go with that one. And then over here, since this is a hybrid reverb, half the sound comes from the convolution, and then the other half comes from an algorithm reverb. And let's just kind of take, right now it's set 50-50. So let's just take a listen to some of these and see if we can come up with something a little bit better.
I'm just catching up. I'm just catching up with yesterday. I'm just catching up with yesterday.
Ooh, that sounds good, but it's really busy.
I'm just catching up with yesterday.
It's kind of got some filters going on.
I'm just catching up with yesterday.
I kind of like that, but I think I'm going to go with the quartz.
I'm just catching up with yesterday.
All right, we're going to bring up the distance just a little bit, bring up the size just a little bit, and then the decay. We'll go a little bit longer than what we did before. We'll go 1.8. And let's take a listen to what that sounds like.
I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling.
I think it sounds pretty good. Let's move on to the delay. We can take and delete that and replace it with an echo. And let's check over here. Basically 700 was our time. So we'll start there. Dry wet 100. And we'll take a listen just to that to see what we're working with.
I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. It stays contaminated in my mind. I'm just catching up with yesterday. I'm just catching up with yesterday.
We're going to bring up this release a little bit. It's kind of ducking in and out a little too quick.
I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know.
A little too much feedback.
I'm just
Bring that down. Okay, let's take a listen to that.
I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No. Oh, I can't shake this feeling. This discontent in my mind. Oh, I'm just catching up with yesterday. And I don't know what to do. No.
All right, I think that sounds really good. Let's see if we can just do what we did before and steal this for Ricky. And let's just switch over to Ricky and see what he's sounding like.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay.
Okay, one thing I can hear right away is the reverb seems a little thin for him.
Not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know
And let's just get rid of some of the rumblies.
take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know
All right, let's take a listen to that.
Please take me far, not looking back. This tiny sphere is getting too small. We both know I won't stay. We're shooting stars and it's my time to fly away through this vast empty darkness, illuminating everything on sight.
That's it. I say that is a wrap. That sounds amazing. So no matter what edition of Ableton is, and whether you have any extra VSTs or anything, you should be able to mix vocals now. Let me know if you guys use this to mix anything. Send me a track. Love to hear it. Other than that, like, subscribe, and stick around for the videos I have coming. Peace.